Wow, recording. I hope so, man. Oh, wow. That's using a gap glue on a circuit. I'm just redoing a motor system for my drill press. Okay, so. Hi. Okay, I'm in focus. Alright, so we're going to talk about the hutchison effect. Oh, dear. Okay, so most people, I was on with Matthew. Math Easy Solutions YouTube channel live streamed for 4 hours yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I get a lot of questions about things. Oh, by the way, I gave Matthew all the videos, all the documents, which he downloaded onto a big Dropbox, 3 terabytes of videos going back to 1980 all the way up to 2008, maybe some other stuff too, because I worked with Jesse Ventura, True TV, and other demonstrations. So you might want to look at Math Easy Solutions. I'll put a link in. And you can pick from hundreds of hours of videos and demonstrations, as well as documents. You might want to find the documents on the building of power cells. That's in there, I think. I don't really know. I'm kind of like, I watched that all yesterday. I was surprised to find a lot of stuff that I didn't know I had. Oh. But anyway, answering some questions, no, it's nothing to deal with directed energy. Thank God. Nothing to do with heating something or shooting microwaves in anything. It's a combination of different things that sets the environment for things to happen, as evident in the apartment laboratory. It's setting an environment with different pieces of equipment that I recognize signals and that kind of thing, and intermixed signals, electrostatics, magnetic fields, high voltage, RF. I sit at a control panel usually, as you've seen in some videos, I think. But it's a matter of different systems that put an environment in a certain areas that things happen, like zone number 1, zone number 2, which I had years ago. And I'm sitting at the control panel, adjusting and listening at the same time to what's happening. It takes a long time to set this kind of system up, but it's a lot of testing, a lot of fun building stuff as well. Now I'm in a whole new system here. I'll be setting up an area, what I call a zone. And, well, I have my zone picked out. But a matter of building, it's kind of epic building this one down here because, unfortunately, I was ordered by the mayor of New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada, Mayor M. Wright, and fire marshal to stop doing what it's doing because it's affecting other people's places and apartments and houses and things in a great big area, as evident in the evidence that Dr. Danny has and others have, and some government folks have. So I complied to that. I gave a lot of stuff to Paul Pincott of Canada Imports in Burnaby, British Columbia. Also, the Germans got some stuff. They bought it actually, and they don't know how to use it. And not my fault. But anyway, then I took off to the Gulf of Mexico to do my stuff and other things. So, to rebuild has been quite an effort because it's not like the old days where everything was half of it or a quarter of it was maybe a third of it free. They didn't want it, this old stuff, and I was able to pick it up. Convoy electrical machinery, Chaos Mod electrical machinery, okay, RP Electronics, Satellite Electronics, Dave's Surplus in New Westminster, Westland Military Surplus, Capital Salvage, North Star Salvage, MP Superior Metals, Can-Am, not Can-Am, but Phil Gaddison and Freddie that had Adanac Salvage on Alexander Street. This stuff was free, most of it, and I quickly built up these laboratories as well as in New Westminster with stuff I bought, repair radio cells, and again the mentioned scrapyards and surplus stores. But down here, I had to go to Petaluma and get some items, okay, and Santa Rosa, but not the substantial amounts that were available in Vancouver. Let's say it's eBay, and that's heavily costly. It's very costly. It's always got a problem with shipping. So, it's going to take a while. It might take another 6 months or a year. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, good. What comes up on eBay or the scrapyard. And that's it. Because fire radio sales closed down. Luckily, I got about 3 or 4 pallets from them in the last year and a half. And they closed down, which is kind of sad because they're one of the best places. Nebraska was a Nebraska surplus. They don't have anything. Most of the places don't have anything. Go back in time. There was a place in LA, but I found out that they only rent to movie studios. What was it called? Something surplus, a big place. Because I asked them to go looking for insulators, so I had to rely on Petaluma Scrapyard. Okay. So I set up an environment, as I mentioned, with different components and that to produce an area that things can actually happen, like almost opening a dimensional doorway to something else, which is a great interest to Dr. Harold Wilson of DRAP, Defense Region Established Pacific. Other film people that came in, many TV people, okay, should maybe mention here, all right. Pre-demonstrations I had to set up and film, and I did film myself. So I get, I notice, National Geographic or History Channel or Fox TV and any of those TV places wanted to film the effects, so I had to do pre-effects, make sure that they do happen, which is very difficult, but most of the time they don't happen. But luckily I got patient film crews and stuff happened and it was captured and it's all loaded up onto these hard drives. Dr. Ludwig spent 14 days filming effects that were pretty consistent. Because always there's this movement and distortion in a certain area, which is pretty continuous. It's still a bit of a mystery to me why it's continuous, but it was. I was doing a boat experiment with a 12-inch long boat in a bucket of, or container that held water. That was for a TV show that was going to be done by myself and Ron Mililoni from BAE Systems. We had 13 episodes lined up, and we talked about it on CBS Radio, KSL XLA Radio. I think that's uploaded too with all the stuff that Matthew kindly was here filming, and kindly he was very determined to put all this stuff up on the internet, which is, it's available. If you want to go take a look up at Lincoln. If not, well, don't bother, okay? So thank you, Matthew, and try and get the word out to people who are looking for ideas for free energy things and what the hell I was doing and stuff. Because only about 10% of the stuff on YouTube or the internet was uploaded by, I guess, me and some other people. But, well, it's all kinds of stuff that you can go and pick up and download yourself and make your own videos. I think. It's up to Matthew. It's all Matthew's project. I just thought it's a good idea to expose all this stuff. There's the government stuff, there's the Japanese stuff, there's hours and hundreds of hours of videos. Going all the way to the early 80s on up to 2008, by the way, so. And then after that too, I believe. Well, last being was Coast to Coast with Richard Surratt and his film crew, but I haven't seen anything come out. So I don't know what Richard Surratt's up to. Some of these people talk about the street, and nothing happens. They do all this filming and then nothing comes of it. Although I was a guest with Richard Surratt at coasttocoastam.com. I should look that up and maybe listen to it someday, but that was I was on Coast to Coast with Dark Bell a number of times and George Norrie a number of times. Of course, with Richard Surratt in Toronto and Coast to Coast, so I do it. Other film stuff. Right now I'm doing filming of certain things and testing certain things in RF fields and structures like that. Then working on other things as well. Simple repair of a lathe, compound rest, and I did order in some other pieces of vintage electronic, only military please. Military electronics only. Plastic, because this is the zone. Plastic stuff or garbage stuff or modern stuff would simply fall apart in that zone. That could you stand up to it. And military stuff. Plus I like the engineering of military surfaces, also a collection. That's how I got into all this nonsensical stuff with studying Tesla, building Tesla coils, and discharge transformers, anti-gravity generators. I studied all this stuff and then built my own. I needed a disruptive discharge transformer, 1898. Tesla talks about that, an electrical experimenter. I had one, but it was stolen. And I had a Vantigraph. I don't know where that wound up. Probably thrown in the burners. I hear a corn honking. I better get going. So anyway, I wonder what she's doing. Okay, so anyway, I'll put the links in. Go to Matthews and check out all the links and download. Let me check, and I'm gonna go anyway now. So I'm talking long enough. Okay, cheerio.